who I am and what I want to do. Because you know, when you're 18, you don't know who you are and you don't know what you want to do. But you're so many young, like every young person, you're pressured to just choose something, just study something, just get a degree. And you know, that's exactly what I did. And somewhere along the line, I figured out that actually I wanted to be in the marketing industry. And for me, the first place to start was in social media. So I decided I was going to make um, my own content, and I started off with DIY because I had just moved into a place and I enjoyed working with my hands and I mean I grew. I'm like was nowhere near and I'm nowhere with you guys. But I got community. Yes. Like what was valuable from that was that for me it came down to all the connections. So the reason I am here today is the connections that I made through each step in my journey. So from my DIY content, I made a connection with Joe from Fluence. And that led me to then I can't remember how it happened. Joe will have to jog my memory, but I ended up working for Joe part-time for Fluence, running their social media and assisting with creating the content for this very festival, 3 years ago. And eventually that then progressed when Joe introduced me to one of her friends in the industry, Sash from Little Biggies, and I started working for Little Biggies part-time, and then eventually Little Biggies hired me full-time to create content with them and sort of run their social media. Also do create content and create strategies for all of the clients or all of the brands that we work with. And part of our strategy that we developed for trying to get new clients was that I was going to speak about brand strategies of popular brands in South Africa. Tiago. Yes. um, and so the first one actually that I think the very first one I did was real raw because they were sort of having their moments, like, but there wasn't a lot of conversation that was happening online about them. And I made this TikTok video speaking about them and their strategy and everything that makes them this beautiful luxury brand. And it like kind of popped off that video, and it was noticed. It got noticed by Fieldbar, and they reached out to me and they gifted me one of their drinks boxes to say thank you. And so that was now like the second connection that I made. The third actually, the third connection that I made, and it didn't happen immediately, but without me knowing, that video had served as like my first interview for the job, because in that video they could see my creativity, they could see my analytical and critical thinking, and they could see my personality and what I would bring to the brand if I were to join their team. And like I think almost a year went by, and I on a whim, it was a Friday night, and please guys don't go do this because I know it was the most professional thing to do, but it was Friday night, I think it was like 7:30, and I had just one glass of wine. And I had the marketing manager at the time, who's now our head of marketing, I had her on WhatsApp, and I messaged her out of the blue saying like, listen, if you guys are ever looking for someone in the marketing team, like I would love for you to consider me. And her response was really positive, and I didn't know it at the time, but they were actually actively recruiting for someone in the marketing team. And yeah, I went for a few interviews, and a month later I was packing up my life and moving to Cape Town. So it was incredible like how it all happened, and just like the power of connections that and your networking. And shooting your shot. Yes, exactly, shooting your shots. And then like I kind of, in preparing for this, I thought about like 3 key takeaways that like I didn't realize I was doing, but the first is about like not being afraid to pivot and not being afraid to change your mind and your direction. Like it's never too late to start over. And that's, I mean, I did that. I had to start from the ground up. The second would be out who we know, and that's never going to change. I think that our head of marketing actually told me was the law of reciprocity. So obviously, when it comes on, when building those networks and connections, and you coming to lean on them and get something from it, you should always be a little bit cautious as to what you are asking of them, because the law of reciprocity states that it's a natural thing for people to now expect something back from you if you ask of them a favor. And then the third thing was that you can make the opportunities that you want, you just have to be brave enough to ask for them. So, and that's it. You have to, as you say, I think it was like Wayne Gretzky or something, who said like you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And the worst thing that someone can say to you is no. And then you move on with your life.
You spoke about the power of the pivot, or you can just do everything, which is what I realized Jax does. You know by various names, picking what space you work within. I've just over the last few days figured out how much you actually do. But it all started, a girl from the Eastern Cape who had a love for politics, and that's where you thought your life was headed. And you end up here. Tell us.
Yeah, so hi everyone.
How's it? Yes.
My story starts really together from the EC Cape. I go to varsity, I drop out, I make my mom upset. And then she's just like, but you're not coming back to the EC Cape. And so I then started a company called Friends, throwing parties. Yeah, very great. We did that for 12 years. And they're still going on. I've departed. But my journey was, I think, different to a little bit to everyone else, where this kind of stuff found me as opposed to me seeking it, in the sense that my country wasn't really in and then a brand reached out to me. But I think the reason I got that opportunity is because whenever I was on social media, I always did myself. Like, one day, when I used to drink, I'm hungover, like I'm giving you a tutorial on how to not be hungover.
The content that matters.
Hi Mohan, how are you?
I think that was the whole thing for me. If we're going to speak about authenticity, I've always been myself. I've never seen the pressure to be perfect on social media. And so slowly but surely, that started a ripple effect of me still doing my day job of doing events and running this marketing agency, and working with brands as well. And I guess the lesson from that was I learned how to maintain brand relationships, how to work with brand people. So a silly example is that if I get a brief, I send my own concept document back before I start shooting, because I've been on the other side where the marketing manager is like, we need another reverb, we need you to reshoot it like this. No, I'm not paying for that. I'm a cheapskate, so I'm not paying for that. So and then last year, after 12 years of running Until, I decided I was done.
Sure.
Yeah, and I quit.
So I shot your baby.
Yeah, I walked away after 12 years, guys, 3 degrees. I took the day. I was tired. I was too tired, but no, seriously. I just felt like I say, in terms of pivoting, I felt like there was something else for me.
It was that season.
That was over. I had studied philosophy and economics, and on my stories, I would just get on Instagram and just break down whatever was happening. And last year, I think or the year before that, I did the ICJ case, and just kind of explaining it, what did I say, Coco Melon, it out to more people that this is what's happening. And then, I just moved on with my life, trying to figure out what I was going to do. And then this year, I started speaking about South African going to war, making jokes about that. And people really loved that. I'm sure the Rwandan president did. He did not, because I
He
could
doesn't have a good sense of humor.
No, he does not, and I kept calling him Kagami, and that is quite a change in the time, not Kagami, which is the same. Yeah. So, but yeah, I know mistakes happen, and nobody died. So, just that I just changed it in my caption. I was like I'm saying, I think everybody takes this thing too seriously, and it says that like everything has to be perfect. You will not catch me. I'm a human being who makes mistakes.
And this is a joy of owning your own space, because in the space that I work in,
Yeah.
you got that little box of lies.
Maybe that's not too much traction.
I should buy them church. See what happens.
Yeah,
My brother
it's,
just
that one video
super
then
thanks to me.
amassed me, I think, 100,000 followers in about 4 days.
You lost or you
Amassed.
So sweet of him.
Into the confidence.
Yeah, so essentially, it was a fluke. I like to say it was a fluke in the sense that I had the knowledge because I studied politics, philosophy, and economics. But I think what had happened was I was also in a class last year called International Relations and Media, and my lecturer was really good. And instead of focusing on traditional media, he focused on how TikTok and podcasts and all these things are new forms of media. So I had that foundation on how to get that gap into these other platforms, right? And
There's almost a vacuum in that space, isn't it?
yeah, it's for me it's literally finding a gap into, or a niche. You know, there's people who on fashion lifestyle, so it's food, it's cars, it's, there's people who are comedic and, dance on Fridays. But for me, it was just like, and how do I use my degree, to kind of like get to people.
And you're passionate about it.
Yeah, it's something that comes naturally to me, like always think about what you know. And so, yeah, that kind of happened this year, and then I stayed in a house with like twice. Everyone here that stays in houses, I also live like, you have to spray, you have to stick to certain things. And so, yeah, that's been my journey.
And this is where you are right now.
Yes,
But especially alone walking away from seasons, because there is also, or because the stuff gets covered on news organizations, there's a story on the fact that you decided to walk away from your day job. I mean, this is the world that we live in. I sometimes like just say you from city press me about the fact that I'm like, okay, because that kind of attention surprise you before you tell us your little journey. Well, not so little.
Guys, we're at the fest. And I'm not going to be saying a lot, but yeah. Okay, this is my share.
It's a boy band.
We make it work.
We make it work, honestly.
True, that is so true. I'm just going to know because I need the YouTube hours. So,
Yo, I'm not familiar with that.
really. Oh, son. That's where I started off and have been for the longest time. But now, yeah. There is a lot of work that's required.
What? Say something.
Champagne, champagne.
No,
to try.
Yes. Come to the white version.
This one or no, alcohol conversation.
It's just to talk like that. You're not allowed to walk around with a can.
It's up to 12. So do you want alcohol or non-alcohol?
Alcohol.
Bengazi. Ayisibuza ngalokho. Bengazi ukuthi
Such a OG.
ayikho.
Nice one.
Akuna amaklasi.
I'm a class now. Yeah, I'm a class now.
Oh, okay.
So,
you should
are we doing alcoholic? Alcoholic version,
please.
right? Can I use the same glasses?
It wasn't 9, so you can actually give me another one. We're getting drinks, guys. Hey, Bessie. Hey. Oh yes, please. It means I'm gonna. No, we'll do it afterwards because it means I'm gonna have to exit the live.
So I've got two variants.
Courage.
I've got the pink one and I've got the white. The white.
White, please.
Yo,
I,
They won't know
I won't even
because-
lie, dog. If you wanna come like 10 times, please do.
I was about to say they won't know because Sibanini. How are they going to tell Gucci
I'm happy to come back.
A million times, a million.
My brother, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm here for you, family.
Oh, you can give him.
Imagine.
Let me vlog this for
So,
TikTok.
yeah, the real deal has arrived.
Abantu abamnyama, guys, if it's not alcoholic, it's not the real deal. What?
It's on site.
Thank you. Let's go.
So, what's it?
Oh yeah. Twans. Twans. Yes, Alice, Bev. You're bored.
But this is so good.
It is, hey? It is.
You got
I mean,
invites
the
from
fact that.
humans.
No, I only found out about the invite to humans after I had already paid for the ticket.
Look at my ticket up at the line.
Yes, bro.
Look at my limit.
150. The one that I paid for was 150. It's not. Apparently, there was ones that were a bit more expensive. Or I don't know. We'll see which ones are those. She drinks water. She drinks water.
I was so good at what I did, but I just really like the fact that even more I like work because because it's traditional. You know, like what it is. So I remember when I decided to leave my job. It felt like the right time.
Hey, but Alice, can you believe how many people are on here? Guys, please like the live. Like.
I had to look at the stability of what it versus how I felt. Because remember, it was the and I was like, with my age and sad, you know,
It's such a true nature. I'm not like everywhere. Like, look around. Like, I want to focus on
I'm not ready to walk away from the medical aid and the pension fund. I'm not ready. Especially the pension fund. Oh, well, guys, parents need to be paying them 100K for me to leave
I remember when I was with you, I was like,
So nice.
and when I watched
So
it,
literally a day after.
we left and then I was free!
Avela amavidiyo kuvela ithombe. I need to upload.
I got it. So Hannah, and I was like, girl, we want you on our team. Oh, you're like,
Wow.
It was such a crazy thing to me because it was like, what do you mean?
Oh, yes.
You know, so I think,
Yes.
my journey has just been about lifetime. You know when people say, we don't should
Girl, for Mahala.
I really like that. I mean, I really like it. The right time. Oh my God, it's so funny. I just felt like it was my time, and I think I've just perceived everything so well. It's just been working so well for me. And I'm so happy to be with you. I'm so happy.
He is. He can
Uyabonakala.
It's such a joy to see. I want to pick up on what you said when you decided on what platform to use. You spoke about TikTok and that's
I used to
those
be
restaurants. Your audience
but long time ago.
Wait, let me mute this.
about platforms at level and I'm not going
How do I mute, Roger?
Running migrating from Instagram to TikTok because they anticipate that the same formula is going to work. It's not.
It's
TikTok
not.
wants to be real, like baking, you're walking, like how
Instagram,
the average person feels. You know, you are disheveled if you are, you're not always pretty. So it's almost understanding what each platform does for you. That's probably, I think, garnered a lot of success.
And do you find, I'm sure there are people that follow you on the various platforms, and do they get it? Do they understand that, you know, this is how you're differentiating? It's not like you're trying to be something you're not on one platform and something else on another.
Yeah, I think they get it because I think all of it is very authentic. If you're going to bring it back to the main keyword, all of it is very authentic. You know, on my Instagram, we are making omelets on one day. I am watching rugby. I'm very into sports. And then on TikTok, we are breaking down very serious topics. I think that's why there's a difference in followers. There's people who want to engage in this kind of lifestyle, that's on Instagram. There's people who want to engage with this on TikTok. There's people who want long form. That's why there's now the YouTube and the podcast, because they want to learn more about whatever topic that I'm on. Make social media fun again, which is a conversation around why is it so stagnant and so boring? Why is it so very serious? So yeah, I think the approaching the different platforms differently has been a win in my case.
Sam, from your point of view, I mean, you again also came also in being a content creator as well as now being marketing manager for this specific brand. How does your brand approach the various platforms? And then how do you present them to decide on who to collaborate with on the those platforms?
So it's very similar in what Jack said. Like for us, we have to figure out what you want to do and how to use platform. So we don't just, it's not like a complicated brand and like you have to be on Instagram, you have to be on Twitter and and all of that. And for us, it's we are so committed to producing high quality content. That's our top strategy. And if that means that we can be on one platform, then we're happy with that. Until we figure out like, I mean, we have an account on TikTok, but we don't post anything. For us, we show up in a way that is like authentic to our brand and like that we're proud of the videos that come out. We don't want to just like do what everyone else is doing. So yeah, for us, we chose Instagram obviously because like in the when you my first started, that was how we started difficult to create the content. And we decided that Instagram was a good technology of how it was. So
Like when you man, you
target
can Uber.
audience, so from 25
Like
to
when you now
55,
buy something,
and
come back,
you're not
and
going
you
to
shit,
find
or
the
something,
videos on TikTok.
change that
People
comment.
find some,
Oh,
but
man,
not
you
the
like.
majority of them. So
No,
That's cool, that's cool.
the older people wait for people on Instagram to post the videos from TikTok.
But it's easier to do like abanye ngablock. Laba
Yeah,
bakhuluma
laba
khona.
so we decided that, you know,
so
we're
much
going to nail
easier.
down like our strategy and what we're doing on Instagram before we then decide to take it over to another platform. I mean, like even Facebook is sort of like still linked to it's linked, but what I found on Facebook is that we actually as a brand, we haven't had to sort of actively participate in it. It's been really incredible to see this a fan group called Lives of Picnic, Global Lives of Picnic, that it's a community of people who are so obsessed with our brand that they started this and it's now like 35,000 strong.
Like a fan page.
Yeah, fan page.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's not just a cooler box, it's a field bar.
I don't have one yet. I don't have one yet.
Yeah,
That's when the night which will stop for Isithumele imali ye-personal send to his personal send so far 3 people I'm getting my first month.
Yeah.
How are you chefing?
That's not really time slot.
I stepped into a bit of the TikTok workshop and she was speaking about the role of FOMO in creating the kind of TikTok content that gets people's attention. And Maya, I want to know you on that. You spoke about how you evolve your brand online, and I feel like aspiration, FOMO, all of those things obviously have a role to play in capturing people's attention. But where do you sit on that? Does that put a lot of pressure on somebody like you that you always need to be living a certain type of life so that you can reach the people? Or do you feel like you can let your head down a little bit and show your, like guys, it's a lot. Like sometimes you're just not going to have a good day, but you need to be consistent with your content, you know?
Yeah. Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
And I would do like day one of 365. And then by day 50, I would
365.
You know, it's 7 days.
yeah, day 50, I'm like,
You should have 30 days. 365 what was? I'm so
and I get DMs from people. And they say, oh, my day is very bad because you didn't post day 55.
my goodness.
And I need day 55 because if I don't have day 55,
I'm going to be right.
and I had to now make a decision. Do I do it for the people?
For yourself.
Because I feel like if I am trying to motivate people, it should come from me. I should feel motivated to share it. And if I start doing it just because they want it, then it doesn't
Becomes an issue.
I'm just going to be scrapping around and finding stuff and posting it. So I used to do that, and I had to change and be like, actually, I'm going to do what I want when I want to. And if you are going to follow, that's amazing. If you can't, that's also okay. And come to the point of being real on social media. I mean, who I am on Instagram, I am not on Facebook, I am not on Twitter, and I'm not on TikTok. And I used to, do this thing of cross-sharing content from Instagram and then taking it to Twitter. But then I realized this thing is not going to work. And then one day, I decided to sing on TikTok. And a million views, I'm like, yeah.
Wait, can you sing?
So all I need to do is sing.
Hey, my doubt too. I can't sing. But I started to sing and then I got the views in the comments and I'm like, now I need to sing.
I'm working towards becoming one in Rubin. Working towards becoming one. I'm not one yet.
I pick up and I can't sing. And I also used to feel like, oh, TikTok is such a lot of work. But what I'm trying to say is, TikTok is one lighter, one step back. I felt like it was a lot. But then I realized that people just want to see the real me, you know, that let your hair down, you know. You don't need to have a prim and proper outfit, you know. And I started doing that and it started working out. So I think you just need to find a formula, and yes, social media doesn't.
Because I like creating content, Ngubeni. I like creating content, and also I feel like there's a lot of growth that comes with the influencer industry, even though there's a lot of nays and negatives, but it's more positive than it is negative.
But I feel like if we can squeeze in 2 questions, you think we can do that? If we've got the roving mic though, can we have a show of hands, please? And it better be good ones if we're only going to do 2 or 3.
Oh my gosh.
Hands for questions? If you could stand up, please, and then just introduce yourself and then say who the question is for.
Hi, my name is Clemens. Everybody here. My question is for Baby. So I would like to ask Baby, what really kept him motivated in doing content? Because
It's not Ngubeni. I've been doing this for 3 years.
it's
It's not a shortcut. It's mainly about luck, yes, but I've been doing it for 3 years.
Tomorrow it's 100, tomorrow it's 5,000. So I just want to ask him, how did he get the motivation?
She must take a class on your behalf.
Even when somebody tells you, that DM,
No, I mean, as far as Instagram, influence influencer, like it's very like. But troubles with my influence.
Also, be wary of measuring yourself with views and follower counts. That's a slippery slope to a mental breakdown. Because you're gonna look, instead of looking at what you're creating, you're measuring yourself with the audience, and granted the audience is very important. But I do think once you have a plan, there's a consistency that you have to have, and kind of like a almost irrational way of looking at things, like I'm going to be really good at this and it's going to work. Because the moment, and I think even high performing influencers and content creators will tell you, when you focus a lot on numbers and all that kind of stuff, when you start to drip, it also becomes motivating. And you start creating. So for me, focus on your product and the audience will follow. Focus on being authentic and why. And why you're doing this. And kind of also like mirroring what other people are doing. Like nobody comes up with this idea. There's no such thing. It's just about who did it first. You know, so look at your favorite creators and look at what they've been doing and how they've been doing it and how you can adapt that to yourself. Because numbers, you're gonna start doing crazy things just for numbers.
Just for numbers. It's like Facebook creators.
So
You know what,
spending
Facebook
money.
creators, the things they do is for the money argument. People go as far as creating like sexual content without actually just for the numbers.
Doing the work, and whatever the real goal is, will eventually. Thank you so much. One more question.
When we copy and compete, like I wanna be
Who's got the
better.
microphone? I can't see that. You guys must be. Because I can't see. Oh, there we go. Okay. Is that on? Should we turn on? Okay. Is there another microphone that's working somewhere?
Once you start putting a price on models, that's when it becomes an issue. You should influence people based on what you are doing. That's more than to add on.
strong business identity that is detached from my own.
Can't lie, it is really hard when I was in agency work, like when I was working on 5 different brands. It's really difficult to be original.
As long as it's not invasive, you can ask.
But it's not necessarily a bad thing if they guide you on this is our strategy and this is what we want to achieve and this is sort of like our brand voice. You can try to adapt your voice into that, but still add a little unique flair to it because again that content is going to become like really interesting. If you think about like Chill and
Is it is a nice film?
Yeah.
the marketing manager for Duolingo,
Hello,
like,
it's-
the personality was her
Oh, you did that scene.
and that was why.
Also
So
did
it's
it.
not necessarily bad thing,
Yo,
just
mina ngithe ngingazi ukuthi ngenze kanjani
like
lokho.
if you're trying to create your own
I
brand,
literally did a very short
what you
time.
will be about your Facebook, then that's up to you to have a conversation with the brand on how you navigate that. But
Need to spend a day with you. Lona, I want to spend a night with you.
Which I'm going to talk about on the stage. We spoke about the politics of because I suppose the brief also will speak to how you bring that voice across. And you said, obviously your previous life, writing briefs was a big part of your life, but now on the receiving end, you feel like you have the agency to, when you get a brief, to say, listen, can we have a conversation?
No,
Talk about how
simply
you navigate that as our final point.
I think for me, I also had a very big one. That brand was my
Guys.
I wasn't in the mood to do it. I really wasn't in the mood to do it. If you can check now, the next second, my face changes back to being serious again. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Why will I This is that big, guys. Maxine, you are not even around. No, no, guys.
Yes, I can sing.
Nothing will be boss.
Music skill, yeah.
Brainstorm around this brief. Let's
You
talk
follow
about
me then?
what you tell me to do, and then you kind of give them
Songs
an
will come
idea.
very loud.
Manje, your voice over or
Yeah, and then videos
I
off.
suppose is the message there. Kim, and can we hear it for our fantastic Carol? Becky, dear Becky, Jack, Sam, Harley, thank you so much for your time. I can also sit and listen to you for hours. Thank you for your
Bye! Ooh, I like Mohala's pants. They're very pretty.
Be intentional, be authentic. I mean, this is just incredible advice that we've just received. Okay, so
I'm not a great singer for me to say I would base it on that, but I have started introducing a bit of it on TikTok, and it's starting to, I do it like maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. So
And then after that, you're going to go straight to lunch. So you know what you've signed up for. It's the ID Brand Masterclass, it's the Content Hub, it's the YouTube Masterclass, and the Canva Masterclass.
I'm on YouTube.
When we come back,
I went to YouTube.
No, I'm going to humans.
If I'm gonna
the future of creative partnerships and legality.
It's in Bergen.
I said it. I said it.
Oh, and you have to go to the
I have to go because I have a problem.
Are we going with these?
Yeah, you can.
Find them later.
Thank you so much, yo. Guys, I also would have to but
So hlangana
yeah.
yeah, so hlangana ke la. Yeah,
I'll
go
text
to
them
where you
Instagram,
going?
ne?
Oh, okay. I do have a pen now. Ooh, guys, music, bye. Gubeni, please subscribe to my channel.